Hey guys, just doing a quick video on exponential models to help you out with the Match My Exponentials activity. So exponential functions have the following form. That is very different to the quadratic form that you've been doing in the previous activities. It looks like this. Y is equal to A times by B to the power of. So these symbols within the brackets, they're all to the power. They're the power of B. That's why they're raised. X take H, and then plus K is normal size, so it's no longer a power. The variables A, B, H, and K, they all cause changes to the exponential curve when you graph it. So like I showed you with quadratics, there's a good starting point to always start with, which I call the default function. The default exponential function you should always start with is this. Y is equal to 1 times by 2, which has been raised to the power of x, take nothing, and then no longer a power, you add 0. So this is the start of the Match My Exponential challenge. This is the first page. It's just welcoming you. So you go next. So I'm going to demonstrate how these variables change here. Okay, so this is a standard exponential function. I'm going to draw the default here with the keyboard. 1 is the red there, times by, so it's a star in this case. Actually, I'll change that to a star. Times by, 1 times by, and I'm saying the default should be 2, to the power of, instead of a squared, I'm going to go a to the power of b, which lets me alter the power, and then in the power I'm going to do brackets, x, which is this x here, take away, start off with nothing, and the brackets, and then I'm going to not be a power anymore. You can see the cursors down there. You're going to add nothing. And you can see that's the exponential function there. So I'm going to remove that. What changes about this if I change the 1? We can see it's crossing at positive 1. If I change this 1 to 2, where does it cross now? It crosses at 2. If I change it to 3, now it's crossing at 3. So it seems that this number out the front has a correlation to where it crosses the y or the vertical axis. If I make a 0.5, it crosses at 0.5. What happens if I make it less than 0, so negative 1? It crosses at negative 1. Negative 2, it crosses at negative 2. It also flips it, so it points down and to the right instead of up and to the right like this. So you can see, hopefully, that that number out the front, that tells you where it cuts the y-axis. What does this 2 do? So right now you can see it's curving up. It's going from 1, 0, 1. It's going to 1, 2. It's going up and right by 1 here. But if I change that to 3, it's gone up a bit steeper. Now it's at 1, 3 instead of 1, 2. Show that again. I'm going to change this back to 2. It only goes up to here where my cursor is, but if I change it to 3, it goes up that far. If I change it to 4, you can see it's crossing at 4. So that number you can see is affecting the steepness of the curve. If I made it 1, it's completely flat. If I make it 0.5, now it starts curving downwards. 0.2, it's curving downwards even faster. 0.1, curving downwards even faster. So you can see this number, this 2 here, is affecting the steepness of the curve. What does the 0 in the brackets do? If I change that to 1, it moved it to the right once. Changed it to 2, moved to the right twice. 3, what if I made it positive? Plus 2, it's moved it to the left. 2, it's moved it to the left. 3, so you can see that's similar to the h with the quadratics. It moves it left and right. And the last one here, if I make it 1, it moved it up 1. Make it 2, it moves it up 2. So this moves things up and down, much like the quadratic function does as well. So really the only difference that you have with the quadratic and exponential, the exponential is a and b work differently to the quadratic, but h and k work the same. Okay, so when you're messing around with Match My Parabola, you are dealing with when you're messing around with Match My Exponential, you are dealing with something of this form, and the starting point, your default should be y is equal to 1 times by 2 to the power of x take nothing plus 0. Start off with that. Hopefully that helps you out. See you in the next video.